So this activity is using a dichotomous key. If you guys are in biology, you maybe have used a dichotomous key already. A dichotomous key is answering several questions about something to find out what an object is. So a really common one is leaves. If you find a leaf from a tree and you want to know what kind of tree it is, you can find a dichotomous key. Keep answering questions and it gets more and more specific until you can see what kind of tree that is. So this is a smaller example of that. The way it represents or it relates to geometry is this conditional statement. We will deal with a lot of conditional statements in this class. A conditional statement is made up of a hypothesis and a conclusion. The most common form is when it's written as an if-then. So if this happens, then this happens. If this is the hypothesis, then the conclusion happens. So this whole dichotomous key is written as an if-then statement. So you're going to be able to follow that along with that. So I give you a description, and then you have to go through this dichotomous key to find out what animal we are talking about here. Now, I will tell you, it doesn't just go in order, so you might have to read this more than once. So we always start with number 1. And over here it says, my friend was on vacation. While he was walking, he came across a ball of fur. So already number 1 says if it has scales, go to 2A. So it doesn't have scales. If it has feathers, go to 2B. It's not that. If it has hair or fur, go to, and it says 2C. You just can't see it on my paper. And you can follow along on your dichotomous key. So 2C is this one. So this one says if they're white, go to 5A. If they're dark, go to 5B. If they're both, go to 5C. So let's keep reading over here. It appears to be from a fairly large animal with 4 legs. It has a solid light tan color, definitely not dark. So it says it's a solid color, so it's not both. And then it says a light tan. Well, I don't know if that's white. Well, it says it's definitely not dark, so it's got to be white. That's the only option. So if it's white, you go to 5A. So that's down here. I'm going to scroll down to see that here. Erase some of this stuff quick. So then we move on. It says, when looking around the area, it seems like the animal eats a lot of grass and leaves. It doesn't say anything. With 5A, it just says if it's small or big. It doesn't say anything about grass or leaves. So this is where a lot of people get stuck. But remember what I said earlier. You might have to reread this because it doesn't necessarily go in order. So if you look at this again, what you realize is it says fairly large animal in there. We passed that when we went to the light color, but it still says that. So it says if it's a small animal, okay, so it's fairly big, so go to 11B. So scroll down to 11B. And 11B already says this animal is a llama. So I used all the clues it gave me. It has fur, it's fairly large, it's light tan. I used all those clues to get the answer of 11B just says this animal is a llama. So if you have any questions, you can go through this again. But again, my big key to you guys is make sure you might have to read some of these more than once. Some of them, you might be able to read them once and then you remember everything, but if you ever get stuck, definitely reread that a couple times and make sure you have all those answers.